Hey, how are you? Eric with you. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to speak to you about something I think is very important when we're dealing with our children and really trying to help them in terms of their behavior, their responsibility, their self-discipline, their confidence, all of the qualities that we really want our children to have. Um, this will really have a bearing on that. And I titled this Consequences versus Punishments. Very important. So let's say our child makes a mistake. There are two different options we can have. We can have them learn from that mistake by having them undergo the consequences of that mistake, or we can punish them. And just to give a loose definition, a punishment is more of a personal attack. We are attacking their character. We are attacking maybe a deficit they have, maybe something physical. It could also be like a physical in terms of spanking, but it's more personalized. It has a personalized feel to it. Where a consequence is when we're letting our children feel the brunt of a mistake they made, and this can help them learn in the future from the consequences that they experience. So there's a fine line, there's a big difference. I don't want to say a fine line, there's a big difference between these two. And I just want to make the point again, when we let our children feel the consequences of a mistake, they can learn from that. They can learn, they can grow from that experience. With a punishment, it is detrimental. It can actually cause damage physically, mentally. So they're very distinct. And just to give you an example, let's say one of your child's responsibilities is to clean the room. So you come home from work and you go in and the room looks like a bomb just exploded into it. I've been there. I know you have too. Looks like it was some type of explosion in there. Clothes, toys, you name it, all over the place. So a punishment for that type of for them not keeping their room tidy, for it looking as it is, a punishment may be that you tell them that they're irresponsible, that they're not organized. Maybe you give them a smack on the behind too, so it's more personalized. Where a consequence, we would direct it at the behavior that you didn't clean your room, so that means that you cannot play with your toys tomorrow maybe. As a consequence, the room wasn't clean, and the consequence is because it wasn't clean, that's the behavior we want to modify, that now you can't play with your toys. That's the consequence. So then the child will take that more as a learning experience. They will see that if I don't do A, then B happens, rather than the punishment, which again is a personal attack, where there will not be any learning, any growing from that experience. And you can think of any example really. I was the other day I made a video and I spoke about my daughter. One of her responsibilities is to take her lunch out of the refrigerator, put it in her backpack, and bring it to school. And she does well, but there are days when she forgets. And on those days, sometimes I would bring it to the school, to the office, and leave it there so she could come get it, so she'd have her lunch. But one day I said, you know what? It's going to be hard, but I'm not going to do it. And so she didn't have lunch that day, which was heartbreaking for me. But guess what? She learned from that. She learned from that. You know, on the flip side, I could have punished her and said, how irresponsible, think, use your mind, remember, a personal attack on her. But instead, I just let her feel the consequence. If I don't put my lunch in my knapsack, I don't eat, and I'm going to be hungry all day. So sure enough, she learned from that experience. Now she's much more responsible of putting that lunch in her backpack. So two very distinct ways that we can go in terms of how we want to help modify and shape our children's behavior so they grow from it, so they prosper and can get better and better in all different levels of life. So I hope that makes sense to you. If you can please really think about this when you're working with your children. Consequences, again, where we're trying to shape behaviors, we're going specifically at the behavior, not personalized, where a punishment is personal. We're making a personal attack on our child when we punish them in that sort of manner. So hope that helps. Again, hope that gives you some clarity, some something to work on with your children. And it's work in progress. This is not easy stuff. Believe me, I've been on this end of it many times, but I'm trying to grow myself as a parent. So I hope that again helps you. If you could please pass this on to all the parents you know. Again, this is so important for our children, their future, make a huge difference in their life. Also, if you could like the video, that would be great. You want to subscribe, come on along. I'd love to have you. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.